Welcome to the Ctas livestream preview of NZSBK 2016. This preview is to give you a short introduction to the championship, where the rounds are and some info on riders. The championship this year is 4 rounds. We start at Ruapuna the 9th to 10th of January, then the following weekend in Invercargill for Teretonga round 2, and round 3 is at Levels on 23rd and 24th of January. After the 3 South Island rounds, we have a break of 6 weeks before the final round, a double header at Hampton Downs on 4th, 5th and 6th of March. First round, Mike Pero Motorsport Park is at Ruapuna is one of the largest circuits in New Zealand. It's situated 20 minutes from the centre of Christchurch and 10 minutes from the international airport, so just on the outskirts of one of our largest cities. There's 7 configurations available. We're using the Grand Prix circuit, which is a 3.33 kilometre circuit in the anti-clockwise direction. Most corners are left turns. It's quite a high-speed circuit with a technical area in the middle. It tightens up through the dipper, which is effectively an S-bend with considerable camber. And this area of the track is directly opposite the control tower and pits, so it makes for really great viewing. This round is hosted by the Canterbury Motorcycle Club and features the NZGP. Teretonga for the second round is 8 kilometres south-west of Invercargill. It's 2.62 kilometre length and racing is anti-clockwise as well. There's 7 turns, 5 of them left, and the front straight is almost 1 kilometre long. This is the longest straight that we race on in New Zealand, and this round is hosted by the Southland Motorcycle Club. Levels at Timaru is just down the road from the airport at Timaru and is 8 kilometres north of Timaru. There are 2 configurations, a 1.6 and a 2.4 kilometre one. We use the 2.4 and racing is in the anti-clockwise direction. The back straight is about 800 metres long with a left turn, and there the bikes go out of sight from the commentator, but we have a camera down there so we can see them going into the sweeper. From there they go from the sweeper into the hairpin, a couple of nice angled corners, and then back along the front straight. Most corners offer good passing locations, and the back straight is great for drafting and late braking. This round is hosted by the South Canterbury Motorcycle Club. Near Teakwater in the Waikato, just south of Auckland Southern Motorway, and halfway between Auckland and Hamilton is the Hampton Downs Motorsport Park. The circuit is 2.8 kilometres in length with 11 metres of rise and fall, which is a greater incline than any other tracks we race in New Zealand. The race direction here is clockwise and it has 5 right-hand corners and just 2 left. It's an exciting track for riders as several corners have blind exits as well as downward slopes, making the race lines tricky in some cases. The front straight is particularly exciting as the rise up the hill and levelling out while it kinks to the right produces some spectacular and exciting racing. Another exciting corner is the hairpin, where riders often come up the inside sliding and weaving to take positions under brakes as the track drops and turns sharply left. This round is hosted by the Auckland Motorcycle Club and will be a double header, so starts on Friday. This round also includes the New Zealand TT, and being the final round of NZSBK will offer plenty of exciting racing for all 3 days. Right, some of the classes are the same as previous years and some are new. We still have Superbike, Supersport, Pro Twins and 250 production. Also still have 125 GP, but a new class, MonoGP, runs with them. They race for the same championship in that class. Superlight is still the same, which is generally a combination of multi-cylinder 4-strokes up to 450cc, 2-strokes up to 400 and twins up to 750cc. The multi-cylinder 4-strokes are generally the modified 600cc with a piston removed or disconnected from the crankshaft in some way. Lightweight is another class and I will cover these shortly. And of course we have sidecars, which in recent times have produced some very exciting racing. These are the championship classes and so will be at each round. Also individual rounds can have support classes that can run with these or if they have enough entries as separate races. The lightweight class is an exciting new class to be added to the NZSBK Championship this year. This class will run with the 250 production class, but will have separate points. The bikes are twin 4-stroke 260 to 325cc and single 4-stroke 260 to 380cc. There are 4 bikes that have been homologated to race in this class. They are the Honda CBR 300R, Kawasaki Ninja 300 Twin, KTM RC 390, which is actually 373cc, and the Yamaha R3 300. Superstock 1000 will run with superbikes as a support class. These are as they sound, stock 1000cc bikes, but they can have certain modifications to enhance performance and safety, but not as much as the full superbikes. It is possible in future years, if the interest is high, that this class will become a championship class. Then also we have Superbike B and Supersport B, clubman classes are round 1 only. These will run with the superbikes and Superstock 1000s, but will not get championship points. As with previous years, the New Zealand GP and TT titles will be up for grabs. These are at Ruapuna round for the New Zealand GP and Hampton Downs round for the New Zealand TT. In both cases, these are the last series of championship races on the Sunday afternoon. Also of special interest is the Alan Ramage Memorial. This is run as a 3x3 lap race for the 12 fastest 250 production riders at levels. This is a general explanation of the championship race formats. So day 1 at rounds 1 to 3 is Saturday, and day 1 at round 4 is Friday, since this is a double header round. Championship classes have a 20-minute practice and then a 20-minute qualifying in the morning. 1 point is awarded to the rider who gets pole position in qualifying. After lunch, racing starts. This is 10 laps for Superbike, Superstock, Supersport and sidecars, 8 laps for the other classes. Then day 2 starts with a 3-lap scrub, followed by all classes getting 2 races. The first race in the morning and the second race in the afternoon. Sometimes the last race of the round is longer, but not always. You can check the race schedule online on the Ctas live timing page or in the supplementary regs if you have them. Round 4 repeats the second day on day 3. So there we have it, NZSBK 2016. Now we'll take a look at some of the riders, where they're from and what they're riding. We have a selection of riders' profiles. as a part of this preview to NZSBK 2016. These slides are in no particular order, and as you watch the video you can pause and rewind if you want to read any more detail on any of them. So, to start with, Jeremy Holmes from Invercargill is racing on the CBR 600 in the Supersport class. Main sponsors: Southland Honda, Race Supplies, Body Science, Top Cars, Advantage Signs. Jeremy raced in Supersport last season and finished 10th overall. Best placing last season was a 6th at Levels. Dino Bentley from Lower Hutt is racing on a Suzuki SV650 in the Pro Twins class. Dean's got a website, www.teambentley.co.nz, and main sponsors: TSS Red Baron, the Office Relocation Company, A1 Homes, the Station Sports Cafe and Bar, Sundance Bars, Zanny Zeus Fine Signs, Stokes Valley Collision Repair. Dino's always loved bikes from when he was a young kid. His father owned a few motorbikes, and as a young man the enthusiasm rubbed off onto him. He's raced in a lot of the local championships, Suzuki Series, Cemetery Circuit, Nationals. Dean raced in Pro Twins last season and finished 4th overall. The overall placing was the result of several thirds and fourths, plus finishing every race. Bailey Perrotin from Ashburton is on a Suzuki SV650, racing in the Pro Twins class. Main sponsors: Ctas Photography, Pirelli Tyres and Manabat Glass, Charlton Harold Drainage and D&L Plumbing. Bailey has also been riding since he was very young, 3, and that was on dirt bikes, and then started on road bikes at 12. Been riding ever since. Special thanks to Manabat Glass. Bailey raced in the Supersport last season, finished 8th overall. Best placing was a 2nd at Ruapuna, plus some 3rd placings during the season. Jacob Stoudt, son of Andrew Stoudt, and Jacob's on, he's got 2 bikes, Yamaha 450 and Hassan 250, and he'll be in the Superlight and Development classes. Main sponsors: Bed Bath & Beyond, No Hair Racing, Nationwide Accessories, Hassan New Zealand. And there's a special thanks to Ken Dobson, Hassan Motorcycles. Jacob's been doing very well on the new X4R at the AMCC rounds. He also hopes to race in the Supersport class on a GSX 600, but we're not sure whether that's happening yet or not. Jacob raced in junior development last season and finished 6th overall. Best results were 2 second places and a 3rd at Taupo, plus some 3rds at Hampton Downs. Evelyn Biddle from Orewa is riding Kawasaki ZX6R in the Supersport class. Main sponsors: Aussie Performance, Will Sport, Charles Investment Group, Formula Fit High Performance Centre, Auckland Motorcycle Club, Race Supplies, Pole Position Travel. Evelyn's also been riding the X4R for Ken Dobson at Hassan Motorcycles, and also doing very well in the AMCC rounds. And she also happens to be the EJC Women's Champion after doing all the EJC rounds in Europe. Evelyn is the 2015 Superlight Championship winner, and in winning that, to win that, she achieved 7 first places as well as some second and thirds. It was also credible that she finished every race in the series. Connor London from Auckland is the son of Phil and Cheryl London. Connor's on a GSXR 600 and racing in the Super Sport class. Main sponsors: World Sport, Suzuki New Zealand, Rest to Race Motorcycles, Bit Turbo, Barnes Jenkins Insurance, Falcon Signs, Total Oils West Auckland. And a massive thank you to Graham Jenkins from Barnes Jenkins Insurance for the use of the GSXR 600, and of course World Sport for their amazing help, and Charles Investment Group. Connor raced in Super Sport last season and finished 14th overall. Best result was 8th at Ruapuna race 3. Connor was unable to finish all races at Taupo due to an electrical fault, so that held his points back a bit. Cameron Hudson from Christchurch is on a Yamaha R6 and is racing in the Super Sport class. Main sponsors: Nationwide Accessories, Race Supplies New Zealand, Trevor Pierce Yamaha, AB Sign and Design, Warren Hudson Aerial and Telephone. Cameron raced in Super Sport last season and finished 4th overall. Best result was 2nd at Ruapuna, race 2. Also, Cameron had several 3rd and 4th placings during the season, and he finished every race. Daniel Meetham from Auckland is on a GSXR 600 again, racing in Super Sport class. He's got a website, www.danielmeetham.co.nz. Main sponsors: Suzuki New Zealand, Team RCM, Coleman Suzuki, Ctas, Barnes Jenkins Insurance. He's got a huge thank you to his regular sponsors, and of course Mum and Dad. Dan raced in Super Sport last season and finished 6th overall in that class. Best result was 2 second places at Hampton Downs and a 3rd at Taupo in race 3. Scotty Moore from Taupo is on a GSXR 1000 racing in Superbike class. Main sponsors: Penny Holmes, Suzuki New Zealand, Promoto Motorcycles. Scott raced in Superbike class last season and finished 7th overall. Best result was the 3rd place at Hampton Downs. He also had some 6th, 7th and 8th placings. The 7th overall was from racing consistently throughout the season and finishing in the points in most races. I understand that's Jaden Hassan's bike from last year that Scotty's on, so should do well this year. Gavin Veltmeyer, GVR 645 with an SV650 engine. Gavin's from Auckland and he's racing in the Superlight class. Main sponsors: Suzuki New Zealand, Continental Tyres, Motul Oil. Gavin's listed some pretty good results there. Nationals 3rd place, AMCC Club Champs 1st overall Superlight, New Zealand GP, TT, Tri-Series. Kevin raced in Superlight last season and finished 3rd overall. Best result was a 2nd place at Ruapuna. Gavin also had some 3rd and 4th placings. Adam Chambers, I don't think he raced last year. I couldn't find any info anyway. So if that's the case, he'll be back. Honda CBR 600, racing in Super Sport class. And he'll be racing in the Wolfpack Racing team. Also sponsors Lati Civil and Precast, Continental Tyres. Hassan from Auckland is on a GSXR 600, racing in the Supersport class. Main sponsors: Suzuki New Zealand, Metzler, Dave Hempelman Limited, J.A. Russell Limited, Motul and Motormail. Aaron raced in Supersport last season and finished 7th overall. Best results were 2 third placings at Hampden Downs and another at Taupo. Aaron featured well in the other rounds as well, often coming home inside the top 10. Andrew Stoud from Hamilton is on a GSXR 1000 L5, racing in Superbike class. Main sponsors: Suzuki New Zealand and New Zealand Classic Motorcycles Nelson. Andrew last raced in Superbikes a few years ago and then retired. He's back from retirement. He's won 9 championships in the past and is back to try and win his 10th. Jake Lewis from Rangiora is on a GSXR 1000 and will be racing in the Superstock 1000 class. Main sponsors: Stadium Finance, Suzuki New Zealand, Charlton Herald Drainage, Stadium Cars Motorsport, Budget Motorcycle Spares and Motorcycling Canterbury. And a very big thanks to Kevin from Race Supplies and Tim from Tyre Warmers for supplying some fantastic quality parts. Jake has mostly raced overseas recently, but he did run in the Superlight class last season for 1 round, and with 2 first places and a second, it was enough points to give him 9th place overall in the championship. So we welcome Jake back for the complete series this year. Matthew Higginbosom on a GSXR 450. He's from Christchurch and he's racing in the Superlight class. Main sponsors: Mum and Dad, Nationwide Accessories, Race Supplies and Avon City Suzuki. Matthew started riding when he was 12 on an RG50 and moved up to 150 and then the 125 GP, and rode there with the help of guidance of Steve Ward. Last season, Matthew achieved 4th place in the Superlight Championship. It was his first year in that class, and best placings were some 4th places at Hampden Downs and Taupo. The overall 4th is a credit to him finishing all races in the series. Royd Wilkerholt from Kawakawa Bay is on a GSXR 600 and riding in the Supersport class. Main sponsors: Pirelli, Open Oils, Shirai Batteries, Ctas Photography. Royd achieved 2nd place in the Pro Twins Championship last season. Best placings were 4 first places in the North Island and several seconds and other top finishes in the other races. This will be Royd's first year in the Supersport class. Sloan Frost from Wellington is on a GSXR 1000 L5 and racing in Superbikes. Main sponsors: Fujitsu, TSS Red Baron, MC2 Suzuki New Zealand Racing, Filtervac, Treble Cone, Shoei, Nitron Suspension, Pirelli Race Supplies, Willits Racing ECU, Alpine Performance, and JDAS of course. And he's expressed thanks to a good friend, long-time supporter Andrew Black, to cover travel costs, and he says it looks like he's got the A-team back. He's feeling great on the bike. Sloan achieved 3rd place in the Superbike Championship last season. This was from several 2nd and 3rd placings, as well as other top finishes through the series. He was also 3rd in 2014 and 4th the year before. Alistair Higginbosom from Christchurch is on a Honda CBR 1000 and racing in superbikes. Main sponsors: Triple R Superbike Team, Honda New Zealand, Alpine Star and Bell Helmets. He's got quite a few New Zealand championships so far in his racing career, and special thanks to World Sport and Race Days Honda for getting him up to Europe for 3 rounds in the Superstock 600 class. Last season, Alistair won the Super Sport Championship. That was from 8 first placings and several seconds. This is a new season, new class and new bike manufacturer, so it'll be interesting to watch how he goes. Dylan Telford from T-Row is on a Aprilia RS4 RF limited edition, and he's racing on the superbike class. Main sponsors: Aprilia New Zealand, Horsepower Motorcycles, RevTrans New Zealand, NTB Racing. Dylan has written that he lives for racing. He's dreamed of doing it from when he used to watch his father race superbikes. Now he's a racer himself in superbikes. He's got a great team, amazing support from friends and family. Dylan came 8th in the Superbike Championship last season. Best placing was the 7th at Hampton Downs. Other results were around 9th and 10th positions. The high final placing was due to Dylan earning solid points in every race. James Higginbosom from Christchurch is on a BMW S1000RR and is racing in superbike class. Main sponsors: RWR Fleet Maintenance, Bridgestone Tyres, Valvoline, Shoei Helmets, Revit Leather, Oxford Gloves. This is James' first year on superbike and with M1 Motorsport. He's really looking forward to being part of the team and stepping up to the challenge of riding a superbike this year. James came 3rd in the Super Sport Championship last season. Best placings were several first places at round 1, a 3rd, a couple of 4th places, and several in the top 10 meant that James had a good points haul to get the overall result of 3rd. Marcus Begley from Auckland. Marcus is the creator, manager, owner probably, of Begley's Racing. He's on a Kawasaki ZX6R racing in the Super Sport team class. Main sponsors: HJC, Autoblast, Attract Signs, Kumato, Shirai Batteries, Ctas Photos, BRB, Red Baron Motorcycles, Reliance Worldwide, Prescott Flooring, Will Sport, Chelsea Contracting, and Begley's Racing was voted as the best, well, it's an unofficial, but voted as the best presented team in the pits last year. Well done, Begley's. Marcus earned 15th place in the highly competitive Super Sport Championship class last season. Best placing was 9th in race 2 at Hampton Downs. Through the championship, Marcus was regularly in the points, and the consistency in finishes gained him the overall placing. Shane Richardson from Wainuiomata is on a Kawasaki ZX6R racing in Supersport. Main sponsors: Kawasaki New Zealand, Motorrad Wellington, Wainui Joinery, Wellington Pipelines, Maratone, Photo CD, Empire State, Ad Signs, and so pretty cool looking photo of his bike there. Well done, Shane. He competed in motocross for 14 years before changing to road racing in 2013. Since then he's raced in F2 Supersport and the Vic Club rounds, Super Suzuki Series and some Nationals rounds, getting good placings and podiums. Shane earned 12th place in the Supersport Championship last season. Best placing was 6th in race 2 at Hampton Downs. Shane didn't finish down south, had a bit of a problem in qualifying, so 12th place overall was a very good result, but probably didn't reflect where he may have come. Mihi Banks from Pararua. It's on a KTM RC390 and racing in the new lightweight class. Main sponsors: TSS Red Baron Wellington, Race Supplies New Zealand, Ctas Photos, Kiwi Suspension Solutions. Mihi started racing from when she was 13 on a KR150. Since then she's gained a lot of experience, Rookie of the Year in her first year, rode 125s, and yes, last season Mihi earned 6th place in the 125 Championship. Best placing was 3rd in race 3 at Taupo. Daniel Perry from Hamilton is on a KTM RC390 and racing in the new lightweight class as well. Main sponsors: Bike Busters, Barnes Jenkins Insurance, Boyd Motorcycles, Hamilton Motorcycle Club. Daniel was 3rd in the 250 Production Championship class last season. Best placings were 5 second places at Hampton Downs and Taupo. Also, consistent finishes in all other races, with points earned in every race, earned him the 3rd place overall. Tony Reeves from Wakatani. He's on a Honda CBR 1000 RR, racing in Superbikes. Main sponsors: Honda Rider Insurance, Tony Reeves Motorcycles, Race Supplies, Timaru Metal Recyclers, Bike Rider Magazine. Tony was 9th in the Superbike Championship class last season. Best placing was 6th in the first race at Ruapuna. A mixed result in the South Island and technical issues at round 3, Hampton Downs, made it difficult to get back in the points. Damon Reeves is one of Tony's sons from Wakatani also, and is riding a CBR 600 RR and racing in the Supersport class. Sponsors same as Tony's, and Damon was 9th in the Supersport Championship last season. Best placing was 8th in the second race at Ruapuna. Damon was touching on or just in the top 10 in several races, which was a credit to his riding as it was his first season in the class. Regan Chandler from Upper Hutt is on a Honda RS 125 and racing in the 125 GP class again. Main sponsors: TSS Red Baron, Motormail, Bridgestone, and he has a shout out to his mum and dad for being the best parents ever. Regan was 3rd in the 125 GP Championship class last season. Best placings were 2 first places, his first ever win in the class at levels, and the final race in the series at Taupo. Along with those during the series, he had 3 seconds and 5 thirds. Toby Summers from Auckland is on a Kawasaki ZX10 RR and will be racing in Superbikes. Main sponsors: Barnes Jenkins Insurance, R&R Power Sports, Mad Love Media, Pirelli, Better Tools. This is Toby's first season on a Superbike and a change to Kawasaki, so it'll be interesting to see how he goes. Toby was 2nd in the Supersport Championship class last season. His best placings were 2 first places, He also had 4 seconds and 2 thirds. Toby earned points in all but 2 races throughout last season's races. This video production has been put together for the riders, their sponsors, followers, fans and any other interested viewers. This presentation is available at no charge and you may watch it and share it freely without cost, but you can't copy it. Special thanks go to the photographers who've provided photos, which are Ctas Photography, Doug Corns, Mad Love Media and Craig Dawson. Also thanks go to NZSBK 2016 officials, MNZ for providing technical information and the clubs running it, Canterbury Motorcycle Club, Southland Motorcycle Club, South Canterbury Motorcycle Club, Auckland Motorcycle Club. Also thanks to Ctas for assembling the information and providing the background video and audio. NZSBK 2016 Ctas live streaming will be free of charge to viewers. There will be approximately 72 hours of live streaming and will include all 107 races. Also, for the first time, all Ctas live post-race recorded videos will be available for free. So no need for the $2.50 per race anymore, and we're doing that as our way to give something back to the sport. A new service: to get a free text reminder at the start of racing each race day, you can register by texting to 8808 with the keyword NZSBK followed by a space and your name. For example, if your name happens to be Joe Blogs, send a text to 8808 and for the first word you put NZSBK and a space and then your name, or it can just be your first name or nickname or anything. That first text, to send it, is a 50-cent cost, a large portion of which goes to your telecom company, and the texts that we send out at the start of racing each day to remind you and tell you when they're on, those texts are all free. Also, when you're on the live timing screen, remember to use viewer chat and talk to some of the other viewers, and also if there's major changes or things going on during the day, we might log into there and post updates, so you'll be more up to date and better informed if you keep an eye on that chat window.